Hey, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Beautiful Podcast. I'm your host, CEO Erica, and I am here with the beautiful, amazing, talented, multifaceted, businesswoman, Miss Alexia. Wow. I'm so excited. Like, okay, these are my friends, but I am a fan of my friends, and I am not afraid to show it. Like, seriously, got to give you your flowers. You are so amazing. Tell the people a little bit about you, what you do, how they can find you.
My name is Alexia Wright. I am a serial entrepreneur in the Atlanta area. I am formerly known as the Airbnb Queen. I'm running over about 40 units in the city of Atlanta. I have a full-blown property management company. I own a transportation business. I have vending machines. So I do a lot.
You do a lot.
I do a lot.
That's what we mean when we say mogul. we don't mean the people that's doing the little this, little that. My girl is running and operating several businesses at the same time. Right.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. And then you're also a mom. Like, you are somebody who shows like your mom journey. You're so transparent with the mom journey. And I want you to talk to me a little bit about that. Like, because again, you show it a lot. You show how motherhood is like fuel for you.
Yeah.
How you really allow for the things in your life to just propel you, push you to your purpose. So talk to me about motherhood and entrepreneurship.
So I think being a mom is really what pushed me to be who I am today. I had Amori when I was a senior in college. At this time, I was still building my business. So when I got pregnant, everybody kind of thought it was the end for me. Even my parents, I was in my last year. Actually, I got pregnant my junior year of college, and I had her when I was a senior. So it was really difficult for me because I had a double major and I was minoring. I had a minor too.
Yeah.
So it was really hard.
What did you major in, by the way?
Accounting and finance, and I had a minor in French.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
S'il vous plaît. Bonjour.
Right, bonjour. So I had a minor in French, but I knew at that point I had a decision to make. It was either to stop going to school, because by the time I became a senior too, I had started making six figures. So the typical person would quit, like, oh, I'm done with school, I'm making money. But I knew I owed my degree to my parents. Not only to my parents, but also to my daughter. Like, my parents worked really hard to put me through school.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't have to pay for school, they put in a lot of effort for me to even continue going to school.
Yeah.
They got me an apartment downtown. Like, I didn't have to stay in dorms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I appreciated my parents for that, and I felt like I owed that to them.
Yeah.
So I continued with my business, and I also continued school, but when I had Amori, it was like, okay, it's really up. Like, it's go time.
Up.
Yeah,
it was up.
You
cannot slack.
It was up, because now I don't got to feed myself, but I got to feed her too.
Yeah.
So it was a little different for me, and that's really what fueled it for me. So now when I show, when she was 2 and she was 1 year old in the field with me, I show it because now she's 5, she's 6 now, and she's still in the field with me.
Yeah.
So she knows my units. Like, she knows where keys are, she knows unit numbers, so Amori.
I know, that is
she's a grown little kid.
Yeah, listen, like, and I always say, like, I love her because I love a kid that can just tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Please, I don't know no better. Just tell me what you want. And she is very much like that.
Yeah, she's a grown woman. So I knew I owed what I was doing to my daughter.
Yeah. So just taking it back a little bit, because I know a little bit about you.
Yes.
You studied a lot. Yeah, you studied abroad. So talk to us about that, how that contributes to who you are today. Like, how has that kind of shaped Alexia? Because that's something different. A lot of people can't say, but a lot of people have studied abroad. But yeah. I don't know. I just really want to highlight that because I think it's interesting. And if people have the opportunity to do it or opportunity to send their children now to study abroad, what's your contribution on that?
I love studying abroad. Like, I started going out of the country even in high school. So we had a program. I took up French in college because I went to France first in high school. So we had a French program in our French class, and our teachers took us to Europe. So we went to Europe, and we went to France, Greece, and Italy.
Okay.
At the same time on a tour. I was a junior in high school.
Right.
So then we went again when I was a senior. My mom let me go again when I was a senior. This trip was like $8,000.
Yeah.
And my parents let me go both years.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Aside from all the other stuff I was doing, but I was also working too. So my mom allowed me to save my money, like, she really taught me responsibility. So when I got in college, it kind of fueled me to take up French. Mm-hmm. So that's how I had a minor in French by the time I graduated, because I never stopped taking French.
Right.
So the thing I loved about studying abroad is the cultures are different.
Right.
Everything is different. The people were different. The language was different. I really loved the language piece because I was bilingual. But if you don't continue studying the language, you will lose it.
Yeah.
You will lose it.
I want to go ask you to say nothing in French.
Don't ask me to say nothing in French because I don't know nothing but bonjour.
No, I get it. But also, being somebody, you're from Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah. So being someone from Atlanta and having that experience, was that like a huge culture shock? And how did it impact your friendship?
I really felt like I was different. I felt like
imagine
I'm that girl.
Yeah.
I felt like I was that girl. Like, because when I got in college, I was traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Like I was on the road in college. I've been out of the country more than 13 times, and I've been to over 40 different countries. Wow. 37 to be exact. So I've been to a lot of countries overseas. And the main reason I did it really was for the language. I was young, so I really didn't care about, let me see how this is so I can move. That was never my intentions. But I was grateful that my parents had the opportunity. You know, they were in a position to allow me to go. That was really what I took advantage of. So now it's amazing to me because now I can say my passport is really stamped, you know. I have a new one because it was so long ago. Right. They only last for a certain period of time, but I'm grateful that I even had the opportunity to say, yeah, I've been to over 37 different countries. Yeah.
Do you feel like that experience contributes to your success today? Like, does it have any impact on who Alexia is? Because it sounds like your parents believed in you. They saw your greatness.
Yes.
And that is like rare, right? A lot of people say like your biggest dream crusher are your parents.
Yeah.
And I know that feeling right now. Mama's like, girl, you got things to do. Why are you on a podcast? Mama, I got you. You're going to see in a couple episodes.
Exactly.
But I love, it doesn't stop me from being who I am. It doesn't stop me from going for my goals and my dreams. My mom's like the corporate baddie.
Right.
But my dad's the entrepreneur. He was the mogul, I'm going to make it happen. So I have both sides. Like I know I understand the importance of stability and security and moving with wisdom.
Right.
But I also know the life of taking leaps and risks. And without risk, you don't get the reward.
Right. That's a fact.
So tell me a little bit about how the support has contributed to you.
Yeah, so my main motto for my business, for my life is staying consistent. Like people ask me, how did you do this? Or how did you do that? Like you can look at any podcast I've ever been on, anytime I ever go anywhere and have to like do some kind of motivational speaking, I always tell people no matter what, just stay consistent.
Stay the course.
That's it, stay the course. Because if you stay the course, you're gonna reap the benefits.
Yeah.
Imagine starting something and then stopping because you feel like it didn't work.
Yeah.
Starting something else and then stopping because you feel like it didn't work.
Same pattern.
Same results. You're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
You got to stick something out. Yeah. So Airbnb was tough for me when I first started. I was a senior in college having to run out of class to go check in guests. Guessing got no tissue, I got to go to the dollar store to go get tissue and go back to class before my teacher in class. Like these are the type of struggles I had, but I never stopped. I kept going. So now people call me the Airbnb queen.
Right.
And nobody could never take that away from me.
Right.
But it was because I didn't stop.
Everybody's not willing to do that, though.
No, that's true. But you gotta be willing to win.
Right.
If you're not willing to win, you're not gonna be consistent.
Willing to win.
You gotta be willing to win. Like I had my mindset on I'm not gonna lose. Even with this baby, I'm not gonna lose. Because if I lose, she lose. No, we both lost. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
No, that's crazy.
No, I love that because I'm in the beginning stages of my show and you're speaking to me right now. Like, do not stop. It feels like the pushback sometimes feels like you should, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's hard sometimes to figure out like, is the pushback or is a difficulty a sign to stop? Like, how did you know how to differentiate whether you should go harder or go home?
You should go harder every time. There's no such thing as going home. Like, I don't care what it is. Yeah. If you decide you're going to pick up and do something, there's nothing I don't go hard at.
Yeah.
I go hard at vending machines, and it makes me the least money.
Yeah.
Hello?
That's real. Yeah.
I will tell you a story. When I was in high school, I went jumping at Sky Zone with my best friend, and I broke my right ankle. I fractured it. So I had to wear a splint, and I was on crutches. The next week, that next Monday, I had a trip planned to go to France. So I went to the doctor like that Wednesday. He's like, oh, yeah, you're going to have surgery on Friday. I said, no, sir. Not me.
Push it back.
I said, you're going to have to. Because first of all, my parents already paid for the trip. Second, I'm like, I'll be okay. Like, I can walk over here with a boot. I will show you my pictures in Europe right now. Yeah. I was over there with a boot. Okay. So when I came back, I never really, like, I was never the type for, like, surgeries and stuff. Like, you cannot cut me. I hate blood. I hate the hospital. I'm not that type of girl. Like, I hate it. So still to this day, judgments or not, I still ain't got that surgery. So now, like, when it rains and stuff, or, like, if I'm walking on it or if I'm in heels, after so long, it'll swell up.
Wow.
But I say that to say, I could have been like, no, I don't want to go.
It's not an option for your legs.
Yeah, and then when I was studying abroad like, when I was going over there in college, it was curriculum based. It wasn't for vacation. Now, you know, the girls are cute going to Europe, but it wasn't cute for me. I was in school, okay? Like, I had credits that I had to get.
Yeah.
in the midst of having to get up, the time difference was completely different.
Yeah. And you're not on your own money. You're like, this is mommy and daddy.
It was just a lot. But I say that to say I still went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pushed through.
I pushed through.
So one thing I know about you is this super strong strength that comes from within, and it does fuel your business, and it does exude. Like, you are really a powerhouse. I know I use that word a lot, but I mean, come on. The credentials are there. The evidence is there, right? And so how does that work when it comes to being a businesswoman, right? Like, where does that stem from? Where do you get that mindset of like, I'm going to win, I'm going to push through, I'm a strong woman, and I'm not afraid to show it?
I really, truly believe you're a hustler by blood. Like, you cannot teach somebody how to hustle.
Yeah. It's in you.
It's in you. Yeah. Like, I'm a natural born hustler. Yeah. Like, bottom line.
But how did you realize that about yourself?
I mean, my accomplishments that I have now, I don't know. People ask me that all the time, even on social media. And I really cannot tell you like, okay, yeah, do A through Z and then you can hustle.
Yeah. It sounds like you just never believed otherwise.
Yeah, no, there was never no other option for me. This was the only way. This was the only option that, like, I'm thankful to God for everything.
For sure.
Like, I don't think it's by my own power, by my own effort, by all means. But I mean,
always had that mindset.
Yeah, like, I've always been like that. I don't know why.
And did you ever see yourself doing anything other than entrepreneurship?
Oh, no. Now, I knew I wasn't going to work nobody's job. Yeah. I knew that.
And why not? What was your mind behind that?
Because I feel like you can go make somebody else rich working, feeling like, okay, I'm going to get a consistent check. Like, I'm the type, I'm going to bet on me. Yeah. Every day I bet on myself, even when it gets tough. Yeah. So there are different levels of broke, right? Mm-hmm. I could be broke with $100,000.
Right.
Somebody could feel rich with $100,000. Yeah. But that's broke to me. Yeah. If I feel like I got $100,000 left, I'm just using broad numbers.
Right.
I'm just giving you numbers. Catch my drift.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm broke with $20,000, somebody could feel rich with $20,000. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say, like, you just gotta, I don't know how to say it, but you just gotta push through.
No, I feel you. And I love that. I love that because that's the challenge, right? And so you do get to that point where you're like, I gotta bet on myself. And if I don't continue to keep this faith and this mindset, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah.
So for you, it doesn't sound like it was the fear of losing, but it was the desire to stay and reach the heights that you knew you were capable of.
Right, because either you're gonna reach that height, like you doing it on your own, or you're going to help somebody else do it for them.
That's right.
So every time you go to this job, you helping that person that owns this business reach their heights. What about you?
Yeah.
What about you reaching your own heights, even when it gets tough?
Some people are so afraid to put themselves first and to think like that. They think that they're hurting people's feelings. Like,
whose feelings?
I mean, I'm just telling you what the people said.
How can you hurt somebody's feelings for going hard for yourself? Like, imagine not taking accountability on your own. Who's gonna hurt? So I tell like a lot of my mentees this. I set goals. I'm a goal setter. When I set goals, I got this from you, matter of fact.
Oh.
Little do you know.
With a shameless plug.
I got this from Erica. When I set goals and I don't reach them, I have consequences.
Yeah.
Meaning I love Starbucks. If I say, Lexi, you want to Pilates 3 times a week and I don't go to Pilates one time, there's no Starbucks. You gotta get here, right? It works 100%. Like, it works. And now I think I got like a 30-week streak on Pilates.
Okay.
So it really works, but I say thank you. I say that to say that if you set goals and you don't reach them, who are you hurting for not reaching your own goals? Yeah. You only hurting yourself.
That's right.
So your boss, no matter what job you're at, it could be McDonald's. Mm-hmm. Your boss has goals. Yeah. That store operator has goals for the end of the year. Matter of fact, they probably got goals for 5 years. If they don't reach those goals, there's consequences that they have to deal with.
They're replacing you.
They're going to replace you. Yeah. Imagine me having to replace myself. Yeah. That's crazy. Right, okay, no.
I love it. I love it. So now let's get into a little tea.
Oh my God.
Yes, this is not your typical business podcast, okay? But we love the business gems because it's necessary.
Yeah.
And all of these things are transferable. These are transferable things to your real life, right? If you don't have this mindset in your real life, whether you have a job or have a business or not, you're gonna fail yourself. Like, you really need to have that belief system.
Yeah.
But we met through my ex.
Yes.
And he actually introduced us.
Right.
And we hit it off. Like,
we did.
We became really good friends. Like, it became like a sisterhood, right?
Right.
And one thing I always used to say, because this was new for me, coming into a space where there are a lot of business women.
Yeah.
Being from Cali, it's and even being here, like, it's very male dominated in this space, right? When it comes to being a mogul, when it comes to somebody who is like super driven and ambitious, you usually see men in that position, right? So as a woman in a male dominated space of entrepreneurship, I know we're coming up, ladies. Listen, just take the notes, okay? I know that there are a lot of women in the entrepreneurial space as well, but being in a space, because can you admit that it's male dominated?
I am baffled that you're asking me this, right?
I have to. I got to answer the baffling questions. Okay, we want to know the tea. How is it navigating a male dominated space? Especially as a beautiful woman who I'm sure.
Yeah.
Those lines get blurred. They try to blur. The lines could try to get blurred.
Okay. Why are you?
I got to. That's what they're here for, babe.
Oh. So the industry that I'm in, unfortunately, it is male dominated, but I've always felt like a trailblazer in my space. Yeah. I'm not a pushover. Yeah. Bottom line. Let me use very gracious words. This ain't that.
Yeah. Oh.
This just ain't that. Yeah. So I am very feminine.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also don't play when it comes to my business.
Right.
There's a lot of things I play about, a lot of people I play with, but my business is not one. Yeah. You know, I am not a serial entrepreneur. I am not a successful entrepreneur for no reason.
Right.
So I've had issues in the industry because I am in a male-dominated industry, and then men do cross those lines. Yeah. But I also have a backbone. You know, like, I have a partner where I don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
In regard to my business. Like, if it's breaking, he's going to fix it. So when I have issues, because he lets me be who I am in my business, like, he does not try to overstep boundaries. He doesn't try to, like, take over anything. If there's something that he tells me beforehand and I don't follow, he's like, I told you. Yeah. But he will let me fall, and the next time he's like, okay, now you know. Yeah. So I appreciate my partner for that, number one. Number two is, I think I've set my, let me see how I can say this. I've set my space. I've set who I am in the industry. Yeah. So I think those men know, most of the industry know, like,
don't even try it.
I'm not that girl.
Yeah. I love that.
This ain't that. You cannot, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
No. So right. I am very well respected in my industry.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I think also because of how you lead. Yeah. You lead with, I don't play about me. No. And that is one of my favorite models, because I do not play about me. Right. So in that same regard, some people will say don't mix love and business. Mm-hmm. What does Lex say about that?
I mean, who's better to do business with than the person you love? I think that, first of all, it has to come with trust. Right. So me and Jack, we didn't start dating until, we didn't start doing business until 2 years after we dated. Okay. So money had nothing to do. He was getting his own money. I was getting my own money. Right. The first year I met him, I did $1 million. Like, he was already up. Like, he had been hustling for years, so we already kind of were set in stone in our spaces. So I didn't want anything from him, and he didn't want anything from me. Yeah. So as we started to grow, when we did start to do business, it just became a powerhouse. It was like, okay, yeah, it's time to go up. I can honestly say I am thankful to God that we have never had any issues in our business due to our relationship. Our relationship was not contingent upon our businesses. They have always been completely separate. So I can understand why people feel like don't mix business with pleasure, but I would not do business. I would not want to do business with anybody other than him. Right. I actually don't have any business partners. Right. Except him. That's it. And you know that.
Yeah, for sure. And but that's why I asked that question, because there's something really unique about that. Yeah. It sounds like you don't mix business and pleasure by not mixing business and pleasure. Like, you do your business, you do your pleasure. Exactly. You do your business and you do your love.
I like that.
Right?
That's it.
And so, how did you guys get to that point? I know you said it was 2 years after. So what was that trust building like, where it's like, oh, I can trust him in business. He can trust me in business, and it doesn't interfere with our love life.
Yeah. So we knew we didn't need anything from one another. So I've always had my businesses. My money always goes to my account. He's always had his businesses, and his money goes to his account. Then we have our joint account. So this joint account, if we break up, like, we've broken up a few times, like any other relationship, please. But that business account, we don't touch it. Right. I could be diehard mad. Yeah. Like, I'm about to come kill you. Yeah. And I will not touch that account. So I think that a lot of times when there's issues in relationships, when it comes to business, it's the woman. Respectfully, it's always the woman.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's the woman. Now, I will say I've seen situations where it's the man, but then the man acts like a woman, so he might as well be the woman too.
Okay. It's that emotional thing.
Yeah, like my partner, he's very masculine. Like he's set in who he is. So he doesn't want anything from me. Like he gives me more than I could ever give him. So we just have always kind of been like
What
that.
I'm hearing is that it's not just love.
Yeah.
It's not just trust, but there's also respect.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Put that first. I respect each other.
I'm a person that's like, you can love me, whatever, but respect.
Yeah. Respect me even if you don't love me.
I do not care if you don't love me, but if you don't respect me, we got a problem.
If you don't love me, that's
Houston,
fine.
we have a problem. I cannot deal with no respect. So it sounds like you guys have nurtured a lot of respect in your business, even if you have disagreements. We're human,
right?
So we're not always going to be on the same page, always agree. And I think that's a misconception that a lot of people have, is that we're always going to agree and we're always going to be on the same page. If not, there are going to be consequences.
Yeah.
Right. And it's difficult. I've done it. I've navigated love and business.
Right.
And you do have people that sometimes it's not always that respectful. And I think that's the link that I think a lot of us should to really recognize, is that having that mutual respect for one another and saying, we may have had our differences, but business still has to go on. This is what's feeding us. This is what's feeding our family.
Right.
And that's another question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with family being such moguls, both of you guys, right? Because this is what it is. Like, you see, people are seeing you work. They're seeing you do all of these things, travel, live this lifestyle. Like, how do you deal with family in that situation? Like, how do you incorporate them? How do you set boundaries? All of that stuff.
Yeah, so we are kind of like the black sheeps of our family, both of us. Okay. So it kind of works perfect because we kind of use the same.
Understand each other.
Yeah, we understand, and we use the same strategies with our families. So our families are my family is well off, and then his family, they don't bother him.
Yeah.
So we don't have entitled families. And then my dad, he's a 6-figure business owner.
Yeah.
And my mom, she barely works. Like, she don't care.
Everybody is in their zone.
Yeah.
I love that.
So they don't bother us. Like, if anything, we always kind of extend our hand. So I'm grateful that we do not have families that are
entitled.
That feel entitled, because we don't owe nobody nothing, because everybody know we work for everything that we have, and our families have worked for us. Like, we didn't build this on our own.
I was going to say, I think that also, two things that you mentioned, I think are really good. And a lot of times I just think these are very like teachable moments, right? Number one, you include your family and your friends. Right. I can attest to that personally. You include your family and your friends in your business. Yeah. Like, I know you personally to say, hey, if I see a friend struggling or having a rough patch, hey girl, I got this assignment, I got this project that I'm working on. Can you help? Yeah. Right. And instead of paying somebody else, I'll pay you. Yeah. Right. So I love that you guys build and you have a foundation in that of including. Yeah. And I think sometimes people struggle with family not really supporting or not really acknowledging or respecting their business because they don't include them.
Yeah, we included them from the beginning. Like, my parents have always supported my business no matter what. Like, my dad is who helped me start my original business, the first one I ever had. He gave me the money to start it. So my parents have always believed in me. Like, I'm really grateful to have parents that have always believed in me, because I've never had that issue, with my family. And they still, even when we first started, they always would come and help us. Even though they lived almost an hour away, they will always still come and help us. Whether if it was housekeeping, decorating. Like, my mom, she runs my interior design company. She decorates all my units. I might do a unit here and there if I feel like it, but my mom and my grandma, they decorate all my units, So his family, they do all the cleaning. Like, his family, they do all the housekeeping. Yeah. Like, his whole family, like niece, nephew, uncle, auntie. His mom will come and clean sometimes. Yeah. So we have, like, I'm really grateful. I know it seems perfect almost, but I am grateful. Like, we work really hard. Right. I think our family, they don't see us. They don't see them working hard and don't see us. Right. They are fuel because they see us get up every day.
Yeah. I was going to say, it sounds motivating. Like, I would also want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, whatever you guys are doing is working for you.
Yeah.
So if I can look at that and learn from that, then that's what I want to do.
Right.
So I just want to give you your flowers in that regard, because I personally see it all the time. Like, again, you guys include your friends and family in everything that you do.
Yeah, we try.
And even if they're not asking for anything, you still look for opportunities to serve them in that way and give back in that way. And that, I just think that those are two dynamic things that are really going to keep people understanding and respecting what's going on.
They have to respect what we do, because we built a solid foundation before we brought them in.
Yeah.
So even if you decide you don't want to work today, our business will still go on. And we've made that known. If you don't want to show up today, that's okay. Like, you're gonna wish you would have showed up. So I think that we respect them and we appreciate them. We show them that we appreciate them a lot, and they give us the same energy that we give them. So it works for both of us.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. A couple more questions.
Okay.
All right. Really, I want to get into confidence.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like you struggle with confidence at all.
I do.
Okay. Well, in those times that you feel confidence is lacking, what do you do to pick yourself up out of that? Like, how do you remain and stay confident even in those challenging times?
I think the word confident, like when people think about confident, it's easy for you to not be confident based on someone else, right? I am never not confident on the basis of someone else. Okay. So no one can make me feel less about myself. Only something that I'm doing can make me feel less about myself. Maybe I didn't show up for my business how I needed to. Maybe I didn't show up for myself how I needed to this week. Maybe I didn't get my hair done this week, right? Maybe I missed my nail appointment. Those are the things that kind of help me stay who I am. My hair, my nails, my Pilates, working out, eating healthy, looking good, making sure my man still want me every day, okay? Like, these are the things.
Talk about it.
These are the things that make me feel good.
Yeah.
So if the only reason I don't feel good, Erica, is when I'm not doing those things.
The things that fulfill you.
Yeah.
The things that make you you. The
Yeah.
things that make you be you to the fullest.
That make me beautiful.
So now let me ask you this, since we're on the topic of your man. Shout out to my brother Jag. How do you turn off boss Lex when it comes to your partnership at home?
That's a really good question. Actually, I am grateful that my partner understands me.
Yeah.
This is how I am, right? I think I have over the years, I have kind of mastered being feminine.
Yeah.
Even in my bossiness, right? It's like, I meant what I said and I said what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you, right? Okay. So, because I've seen you guys in action.
Yeah.
Okay? And what I love is, like, there is a calmness about his masculinity.
Yeah.
There is a dominance that you submit to. And
right.
To me, I don't say submit in a way of like you're weak or you fall like, oh,
we know the real women know what submit means.
Yeah, okay, right. But it's just like, you know, it's like you guys can both be powerhouses at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's logical. You guys do what makes sense.
Yeah.
I have heard you guys in deep arguments about something that you're both passionate about. And it has never gotten, like, okay, maybe it got crazy behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Like, in that moment, I'm like, oh, they're actually arguing using articulation and words and diction. And it's like, we're both making sense and making our point. No, really, it's not like the fly off the handle, call you names type of thing.
No.
It's really like, okay, so I did X, Y, and Z in the business. I made this decision for us and da-da-da-da-da. What part about this don't you agree with? What part of this is an issue for you? And I've heard you guys both hold space for each other like that. So I think it's important to highlight that, especially when you're talking about submitting or scaling back. And then sometimes you'll call and be like, was I wrong?
I'll call you so quick.
I'm putting your business out there. Was I wrong? And I'm like, sis, you were wrong, right? Because I'm not the what is it called? Like a pick me.
Yeah, no.
By any means necessary. But I do understand the power of submission.
Right.
I do understand the power of femininity. We have a superpower, sis.
Yeah.
And I think that you do a great job of not letting that go. I'm just saying, like, no, my superpower in my relationship is my femininity.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I can get up, make money with you, like a big dog.
Period.
Okay, and come home and cook like wifey. So with that being said, I have a gift for you.
Oh.
They just smell like it's really a Birkin.
It is.
Coming soon.
Oh.
Coming soon, guys. Go ahead and open that up for us. Yes.
Let me see.
Okay. What is it? Can y'all guess? All right now.
Period.
Yes. Okay.
Can't wait to wear that shirt.
And I know you're gonna sell it super good because look, y'all, I got some fabulous friends. Okay, with the red bottoms, the Chanel. Yeah, do the whole thing. Do the thing that you do.
I'm excited.
So let me ask you something about this shirt.
I need
right?
to answer that question.
So yeah, hold it up for me one more time, real quick, before you
period.
hold it up, real cute.
This is so cute.
Awesome. So what does that phrase mean to you, especially as somebody who's in a relationship, who values and loves your man?
Yes.
What does this phrase, my man, my God. What does that mean to you?
Well, my man is crossed out, okay?
Okay.
Let me tell you something about my man, okay? My man is built by my God.
Okay.
My man would not be who he is
My
without
girl
my
said
God.
built by my God.
My man is built by
Layered.
my God. No, for real. Like,
Yeah, I do.
if it was not for God.
Yeah.
So my man is built by my God. So I love my man because he loves God.
How do you think he's going to feel about the shirt?
Oh, I don't think he's going to feel anyway because sometimes, like, you just got to find you a man who loves God.
Okay. Ladies, zoom in. Editors, find you a what?
You got to find you a man that loves God.
Yeah. I love that. And everybody who has come on the podcast and received the shirt has a different perspective.
Yeah.
But I love that because to me, right, it's scary to get married nowadays. It's scary to get in a relationship. It's scary to claim somebody. It's scary to do all those things, to tie business and love. It's scary.
Right.
You said, find you somebody who loves God. Because if they love God, then they obey God.
They would not take this shirt the wrong way.
They're not. And if they love God and they obey God, then they're going to do what God says. And they're going to do what God says for you and to you.
Yep.
And I think that that's something that you found. And I love watching it. I've been knowing you guys for almost 10 years now. And it has been the same. Like, it's been consistent. Like, you guys have literally been consistent. It's so weird. You guys like brother and sister. Like, it's weird because, no, not in that way. But, like, it's such a good dynamic. And it's so healthy for your kids to see. And I really want to give you guys both your flowers.
Thank you.
I will call him up here one day. Tell him, don't be hating on an episode, okay? I had to
This is about
bring my
women.
suit. Yeah, it is, okay? So I really want to thank you,
Of course.
for your time. Even though you are my sister in Christ, you're my sister in real life.
Real life.
I do respect your time. I value you, and I look up to you so much as a businesswoman, as a person, really. And I've seen you change and grow so much, and it's just been a beautiful thing to watch. So thank you again. Anything that you want to share with women who may be going through challenges, who may be feeling like giving up, who may feel like they've been working at something for years, and it just has not happened for them yet, aka me.
I would say, like, no matter what you're doing, just keep doing it. Like, really stay consistent. It could be the smallest thing, like something that could be small to you, it could grow to be enormous. I started small. I did not start as a serial entrepreneur. Like, I built my business to where it is now. And then I put God before everything. Like, I put God before anything. So every morning I hit the ground. Like, I'm thanking God for allowing me to even wake up. Any business idea that I think of, I'm thankful to God that anything I've ever touched has turned into gold. I can say that. Yeah. I probably had maybe 2 failed businesses out of 20. So that's a win for me. Yeah. Because, everything doesn't work. But whatever doesn't work, you just keep going. Yeah. So imagine having something but stopping because you feel like it didn't work. Whatever it is, just keep going. And always put God first. That's it.
I love you.
I love you too.
Let the people know where they can find you.
My name is Alexia Wright. You guys can follow me on Instagram at _Alexia Wright, on TikTok at Alexia Wright, and on Facebook, Alexia Wright.
Yes, you guys. So do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also share this video. Do not keep all the gems to yourself, okay? Share this with somebody so they can also be inspired to be them to the fullest. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao.
Questions.
Were they?
Those were really good questions.
Am I in the running to becoming America's Next Top Host?
Yeah.
And this is like, I'm a rookie, okay?
No, this was
natural.
Yeah, you didn't do this like in college, or was it?
She does this naturally. Like, this was.
The only thing I can attribute is some acting lessons. But that was so long ago.